you believe it's been 20 years since you started the
No.
festival. So why did you want to start the event?
Well, when we went back, there wasn't very many film festivals at that time in 2007. It's kind of crazy to think about it because it was kind of like pre like Facebook and all those sort of social media things, like just a little bit before that. And yeah, we were making films. We were studying film at university. We were at Sydney College of the Arts, and we were making weird films that we knew weren't really going to get into Sydney Film Festival. And yeah, we're just kind of like, oh, Sydney really needs an underground film festival version. And I think, we were really lucky that we came from Sydney College of the Arts. So we had a steady diet of experimental films there that, kind of made us, look into the Ubu filmmakers of the 60s and 70s, and around Sydney, there was like the Sydney Filmmakers Co-op. So we got this great education around experimental films. So that's why we were kind of like, there just really needs to be a festival in Sydney that kind of can show that sort of stuff as well, like really experimental stuff. And we had no idea what we were doing. We'd go to the cinemas, I won't name names, but I get it. We'd never done a festival before. And we went to the factory. So someone mentioned the factory to us because they'd only just started. They took over this amazing building, which used to be like a printing factory. And someone said, oh, why don't you head down and ask those guys? And they really came on board. They were like willing to take a chance on some scrappy young uni students. And yeah, so we started with one cinema there. So we had the main cinema. And then as that venue grew, we just kept adding cinemas as we kept going along. So currently we have 4 cinemas running there now. And, we did have a few years that we weren't at the factory. COVID sort of obviously stopped a lot of things for everyone. So we went online. So I feel pretty impressed that we kept stuff going all those years. It would have been so easy just to, let it fold. And we had a couple of years online, which actually went really well. Like it was a massive learning curve for us as well, like how to actually get it to run online. And then we got some money to come back to Event Cinemas on George Street. So we did that for a year. The grant was specific that it had to be in the CBD. So that was fair enough. So we did that for 1 year. And then we went to Dendy Cinemas in Newtown, which is always, one of our favourite cinemas. And so they were really great. And it was just for this year, because it's the 20th birthday, that we felt let's head back to where it all started and really honour the community that grew up around SUFF at the factory. And yeah, so that's kind of exciting to head back to the factory.
Yeah, you have more control on the whole venue, don't you, at the factory?
Well, it's a great space that we can take over the whole thing. We're not the factory. Yeah, I mean the venue, the staff, the space. It's got a really a great community vibe. Admittedly, people are kind of stuck there for the 4 days, which we kind of like. People can buy passes and just come and see a few things. Great beer garden area that we can all hang out and talk about films after, talk about what we've just seen. Yeah, so I think it's going to be fun, especially for our 20th birthday. So I think it's a really great space to take over.
Yeah. And again, this year, the festival is filled with amazing films. I'm a big fan of documentaries, so I was happy to see your opening film is a documentary this year about a queen of cult films as well.
Absolutely. We actually been trying to get that film for a couple of years. Actually, we'd heard about it being made. Tura. Yeah, Tura. So Tura is so it was made by Cody Jarrett, and the producer Susan Perry she was best friends with Tura. And so that you're getting a first-hand documentary from these guys. And it was just a great one for us to start on, made a lot of sense. We can, we have this party built around it with burlesque performers actually doing a Faster Pussycat Kill Kill inspired performance.
That's a film that she's known for.
Exactly, yeah. Her major role as Vala, everyone knows. And that's the thing. We only really knew her from a surface, level, but her story is so intense and shocking and wonderful in the way of how she turns things like hardships that went on in her life, how she never backed down, never played by anyone's rules. And yeah, so it's just a great doco for us to start on. you know, it's always a challenge what you're going to kick off on, but that one we just kept coming back to. It made a lot of sense. And Tara Moss is actually the author. She's actually featured in the film. She became friends with Tura as well. And she started the first Facebook Fans of Tura Satana Facebook page. And so she's going to do an intro to the film, which is going to be a great addition because she's got firsthand accounts of Tura, and also obviously she was in the film as well. So I think it's going to be a great night personally. So yeah, hopefully everyone comes to check it out for sure.
And you've got a film of the Turas there as well.
The Doll Squad. Yeah, she's only made she's made a number of films, but this one we kind of liked too because it kind of, again, her rebellious nature comes through, and this film was actually you know, apparently inspired Charlie's Angels, and Quentin Tarantino used influence for Kill Bill and things like that. So we thought it was another nice one to play alongside. So we'd actually played Faster Pussycat on the 40th anniversary 10 years ago. So as much as we wanted to do it as well again, we're like, we have done that one before. So
yeah, I mean, it's one that people probably haven't seen for a while on the big screen. So it'd be great to see it as well. Yeah,
always.
And another doco that is really worth seeing is We Are the Shags.
Oh, yes, definitely. Lots of hype around this one. And it is such an endearing, like, the story is amazing. Obviously, the father who kind of, you know, forces his children, his three girls to create this band. But you got the two remaining sisters, Dot and Betty. And just hearing from firsthand, I mean, there's sadly not a lot of footage of them playing, but they do capture what they can in the documentary. But it's just a fascinating documentary. I mean, people either love them or hate them, but you know, to find out the actual backstory firsthand is incredible. So I think that one's going to be really popular as well. And we've got 2 screenings, which is good. So this year we really tried to make some repeat screenings. People always say that to us because we have a culture of people coming for the day and getting a 5 pass or a day pass, that they want opportunities to see things. So they don't, you know, it's hard when you just have one screening of everything. So we tried to put as many repeat screenings in as much as we could. Yeah.
Corey Feldman, the child actor from the 80s, is in a documentary as well, which is quite strange because what he's been doing lately is just very strange and skeptical documentary.
Absolutely. I think
Corey Feldman versus the World.
Yes, Corey Feldman versus the World, directed by Marcy Hume, who, again, you know, he wouldn't have been an easy subject to film, but we all have a soft spot for Corey Feldman. We all grew up with his movies, Stand By Me, you know, everyone knows all the films, The Goonies, etc. And to see this firsthand, I mean, there's actually a few documentaries in the festival this year about and films as well, comment on celebrity. I mean, with the Corey Feldman one, the people that get caught up in his orbit, you know, it's awkward. It's confronting. Corey Feldman, though, you can't help but feel a soft spot for him to keep trying to maintain this celebrity. And, you know, it's really one of the best documentaries I've seen about celebrity and the Hollywood machine and things like that. So
yeah, and the rise and fall of sort of being famous as well. You know,
exactly. Yeah. It's just so challenging for these young stars. Yeah, for sure.
On the narrative feature front, you've got a lot of horror and comedy and action films as well. What are you looking forward to presenting?
Actually, there's a bunch of really great films actually this year. I mean, and they're all, again, a lot of them are first-time filmmakers. These are their debut films. You know, and as you know, with an underground film festival, you know, obviously independent, super low to no budget, and what they do is incredible. Yeah, so Jump Scare, Bad Haircut, Bagworm is one of my favorites. It's just so, I can't even, I think people are going to get a real kick out of the program this year. These films are very memorable. Even Species, which is by a first-time French filmmaker who, you know, obviously it's been attributed to being very influenced by The Substance and things like that. But again, she's taken her own spin on the body horror and completely, you know, the darkest comedy blackest comedy, you know, and I absolutely love that. Even like I said, we jump scared, just the deadpan humor is hilarious. And yeah, so actually we managed to print the program this year, which is kind of exciting. You know, we hadn't done an actual printed program for a number of years. Obviously cost is very high, but we just figured for the 20th year we needed to have a physical program. So yeah, so hopefully everyone get a kick out of actually being able to read it, not just online.
Yeah, back to the traditions of how it used to be. Everyone used to read them.
It is very nostalgic, really, going back to how things used to be. Yeah, so so tons of films. So Assets and Liabilities, going back to this, you know, it's very, very, again, dark humor, going back to trying to relive your youth, and it doesn't go quite how you hoped. Yeah, Lucid, another film that's kind of like set in the 90s, and this young girl is you know, she's an artist and she's got a block, and what manifests is when she's trying to come up with some, you know, her ideas for her art is very let's say monsters out of your subconscious start coming out, and so that's a really good one to check out, called Lucid. Meet Daddy, Australian film, which of course, you know, we had to support because it's definitely not like any Australian film we've seen. His script, Brandon's script, is yeah, it's really inventive. It's surreal. You can tell his influences where they, you know, he's obviously very inspired by David Lynch and going completely the surreal realm. And so, you know, the film starts being told from the boyfriend who's meeting the dad for his girlfriend's dad for the first time. And then we flip and we see the perspective from the dad. So it just becomes very surreal, very awkward, very nightmarish. So that's a good one to check out too, called Meet Daddy. And the cast and crew are going to be there as well. So that's screening at 1 o'clock on Saturday the 12th. We've got some 80s films playing.
Yes, I noticed Starstruck is playing Gillian Armstrong's film from 1982.
Yes. So
is that a restored print?
Yeah, so Umbrella's taken it on. So it's completely restored. Color looks amazing. And Maynard is going to be hosting it. He loves an 80s film, anything kitsch, you know. So it's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to do a little DJ set after in the beer garden, tying it in with the whole music from the film, the new wave thing. So yeah, I mean, Starstruck, if you've seen it or not seen it, it's such a fun film. And then we've got so it's a bit of a double header. So two very different films, both set in Sydney. And then we have Hayden Keenan's Pandemonium after that, after the DJ set. But you know, completely different. The one's musical, you know, and then we've got a Pandemonium, which is completely unhinged, very underground, very punk rock. The craziest storyline, and Hayden will be there fielding a Q&A after, hosted by Jay Katz. So it'll be very interesting to hear straight from the horse's mouth about this film that, you know, Hayden, you know, wasn't a film that was completely embraced, let's say, because it is completely unhinged, but it's just definitely why it's completely suitable for the Underground Film Festival. And so yeah, he's got some stories to tell about the making and just about his process as well is really interesting. He had some great success with Going Down recently. Going Down had a huge run at Dendy Newtown and been playing all around Australia recently. And so this film was a film that, you know, came after Going Down. And yeah, so I think people will be very interested to see what he was up to. So I don't think that film, I think it's really only had one screening before. So,
yeah, it's always good to see sort of films that you know don't get that public. It's not easily available online to stream as well.
Exactly.
And part of the other great thing with festivals is actually interacting with the filmmakers as well, something you hardly ever get a chance to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they're so open and welcome to talk about their experiences and, you know, how they made films and stuff like that. So that's going to be, yeah. And that's what's great about the factory too. We can hang about, you know, there's sometimes a formal Q&A after the film, but then, you know, they're always hanging out at the bar afterwards for a chat.
Yeah, you can just bump into them and have a chat in
the
garden afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the festival's closing with a martial arts thriller.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah. So
directed by a stunt, somebody who's known for being a stunt performer.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So it's a you know, someone said to me, we're doing God's work. You know, I didn't have a theatrical screening in Australia. Kind of, it's really sad when that happened. Films just go straight to streaming. Like, there's no fun in that. But again, it was one that was like, you just have to see it in a crowd on the big screen. Yeah, so I mean, that's the beauty with SUFF. We don't really, I guess, answer to anyone in a sense. We screen what we like, we screen what we want to see. And you know, we've read all the, you know, Reddit threads and various things of people going, how come this is not on the cinema? So
yeah, it's a current film, isn't it? It's The Furious is made this year.
No, I think it came out last year, but but still the hype is like now.
Yeah.
And for it to go to bypass a cinema screening is you know, terrible. So yeah, it'll be a good one to end on. It'll be a lot of fun in a crowd for sure. And you get your ice cream at the door. We've always had a complimentary ice cream for everybody. So yeah, it's just a nice way to end the festival.
And something which sustained a lot of filmmakers during the disappearance of Tropfest was your 48 take challenge, where filmmakers have 48 hours to make films.
That's
so
right.
How's that going this year?
Good. It actually just was on the weekend, so just Friday to Sunday, and we actually had 400 participants, which is very crazy. It was the biggest one yet. So I think everyone's craving that kind of you know, let's just get out there and make a film with our friends, let's just go crazy, you know. So we absolutely love the fact that we can run it and then show the films at the festival. So this year they'll be screening on the Saturday in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. And yeah, it's always a lot of fun. I mean, these are 3-minute films that we're always blown away, like what they can achieve in such a short amount of time. Yeah. And
do you know if people are using AI to produce some of it now? Because it makes the production process quicker as well.
That is a really good question, and
we'll find out.
You know, we'll find out. But I actually don't think it. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think it came up very much at all. I will have to talk with Chris. So Chris runs Take 48 with us, and it's so funny. Actually, I'm going to really look into that. But I think there's a real culture of everybody being a little bit, you know, apprehensive about AI and not wanting, you know, to go down that route, especially there's no rush for it. And but I'll be very interested to see if anyone did. So
it'd be interesting to see the mix of who's traditional and who's trying to use latest technology, especially with special effects and things like that. I mean, it's only 3 minutes. There's like the Tropfest, that you have to have certain things in the film as well.
Yes, that's right. So there's a line of dialogue, and the mystery item was a key. And yeah, just keeps it fresh and fun. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what people come up with for sure.
And I like the idea that you've archived all the past films, so you can actually go online and watch all the old.
Chris has done an amazing job. So anyone can jump online, go check out Take 48 YouTube account and look at all the past films. And you know what's really funny? I actually have a couple of kids, and they ask me all the time to watch the films, and there's particular ones that they're always like, can we watch the one with the watermelon and blah, blah, blah? And I was like, oh, again. But anyway, so some of them are, you know, they're very funny. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. It's a classic.
So the festival runs from 10th to 13th of September.
Yes.
At the Factory Theatre. Yes. Where's the best place to get tickets for it, or do you just turn up and
look, if there's tickets at the door, for sure. Like, we understand some people just want to buy on the day. That's completely fine. If it hasn't sold out, absolutely. But you can pre-buy tickets, so you can just head to our website, which is just suff.com.au, and buy tickets from there. So you can buy a 3, a 5, or a 10 pass. You can buy a Sunday pass, so it includes closing night film as well. You can buy the full festival pass. So lots of options to spend the weekend with us for sure. So the 10th to the 13th, we'll be there all weekend. So, and then also on the Saturday and Sunday, we're having a SUFF market as well. So there'll be, so in between films, you can come and rifle through some physical media if you want to buy some DVDs and various things. Yeah.
Well, sounds great. Thanks for chatting, and I'll probably see you at the festival then.
Thank you, John. See you there.
Thanks.
Bye.